already in the game. All right, we're going to join you in mid-a race here.
Yep.
Billy's already down to 18. Serum Visionsing. Looks like some number of cards went to the bottom.
Stomping Ground down to 17 for Mark into Noble Hierarch is pretty solid here.
Yep.
Definitely a good play.
Mark's playing some big deck Naya. Shuffles the top half of his deck.
I think he's just like quadruple sleeved. I don't think he has more cards in his deck.
I'm 1,000% sure he has more than 60 cards in his deck.
I don't know.
Alright, so Billy passes with untapped mana.
A second Noble Hierarch. Are we on one land?
An attack for 2. Billy could bolt the bird here, proverbially. Would you have done that at the end of Billy's turn 2 there?
No, I like waiting until Mark does something. So you know what Mark's playing. He knows that Mark's playing Naya. And there are some key cards in this matchup, and if he gets to bolt one of those, it's a little bit better than bolting the bird here, depending on what's in his hand, especially after he plays the second one.
Alright, here's a snap bolt.
But now that he's all in on double Noble Hierarch, the bolt snap bolt is very strong. This card cannot be bolted.
Yeah, neither Reliquary is a big man.
Definitely a female.
Oh, is she a lady? Is it a lady knight?
It's a lady knight.
She's going to go on a journey, finding the path to exile. And Mark is getting up to 4 mana here, which is kind of the high watermark in his deck. I know he's got a Johnny Vengeant.
Correct.
In his deck?
I really don't think that's more than 60. I think that's a 60-card deck. Just throwing it out there.
I'm pretty convinced that it's more than 60.
Like 100,000?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 80.
80. Whew.
So I saw it up close.
I also saw it up close.
It was definitely perfect fitted and regular sleeved.
It might be like quadruple sleeved. So I'm kidding about quadruple sleeved. I think it's just like very thick sleeves. It might be triple sleeved. I don't know. But regardless, it doesn't have a lot of bearing here. He searches for the 5th land. Does he have something for 5? No, he just wants to get in with some sweet aggro with Stirring Wildwood here. Another Snapcaster for Billy. It's going to be pretty good with the Path to Exile in his yard.
Right, he's going to get the next big thing. More lands and more attacking.
Snap Path on the Stirring Wildwood, although it doesn't seem very strong at first, pretty solid here. You definitely want to run the Snapcaster out so you win the race.
So I think Billy's at 12 after the previous attack, and Mark should be at 13 after Billy's previous attack, correct?
Yeah, and then now Billy's going down to 11.
After the fetch land. Fetching's like a commentator's dream. You kind of get to look through the deck a little bit, see what you can see.
Yeah, I saw some spicy ones. I'm a big fan of the Logic Nut.
He's got main deck Electrolyze too, which is one I've seen out of the sideboard. Was awesome in these kind of decks for a against the Infect.
Ooh. Billy gets blown out by a Ghost Quarter here. Alright, so Mark's going down to 7.
No, I have 7.
There we go. Alright, let's see what Mark can pull out here with now 6 mana.
Facing the untapped island of Billy, Comminos?
You definitely don't want to fetch and shock here, but just fetching isn't the worst if you've got multiple creatures that you can run out. But it doesn't look like he has any. What is going on with Mark? Bolt on top could just be the end.
Here's some action. We're going to get
Billy not searching with Path because he knows the top card is a Bolt and he's got a Lightning Helix in hand.
Yeah, so Bolt and Lightning Helix make 6, and Mark going to 4 is just helping him out.
What could be in Mark's hand? He's been able to pretty much get whatever lands he wants, so you know he's not just
Choked on a color.
right. So I mean, unless it's just all lands and removal, then
I mean, if it's removal, he should have spent it on these Snapcaster Mages
oh yeah, for
2
sure.
weeks ago.
So like Kitchen Finks kind of digs him a little bit out of it, but yeah,
Alright,
just
more
lands.
lands.
Just lands. All right. So a little bit flooded from Mark. Billy takes down game 1. What do you think? Who do you think is got the advantage here?
I think Billy does.
Okay.
I think he can either take the game long or take the game short. You know what I mean? He's got his cards are flexible in doing that.
Right.
And
They're not flexible in that you get to decide how you want the pace to go. They're flexible in that you can adjust to a game going long or a game going short. Mark is going to be the one that determines the pace of this game.
right.
And I think if Mark makes this a fast game, then that's worse for Billy despite the fact that he's got so much burn.
Yeah, I think right. But I think Billy's option here is to either burn creatures or burn the face. So depending on how his hand is composed, he's got a lot of availability of.
I don't think burn creatures does anything in this matchup.
We
Taste
watched
it.
him. We watched
Taste
him
it.
bolt the bird twice.
Yeah, so it kills that one creature.
Okay.
It doesn't kill Mark's manlands. It doesn't kill.
It kills the Stirring
The-
Wildwood.
Burn doesn't. I mean, you could.
A Stirring Wildwood was a 2/3.
Stirring Wildwood is a 3/4.
No way.
Way.
Dude, that first series of lands was so OP.
It's a 3/4 reach. But anyway, doesn't die to burn spells.
That first series is so
Knight of the Reliquary doesn't die to burn spells. So we're getting the story here behind
Hang
Mark's
on,
deck.
yes. Okay. So John Douglas was right. I'm wrong. He has put a token behind every one of these cards.
he explained it in that he doesn't like checklist cards and he's got some flip cards in there. It doesn't make any sense to me still. Like none of that.
No,
Whatever.
they make so they make perfect fits that have a back.
If you really like this color sleeve.
Yeah, like you can play the smoke back perfect fits.
Which are pretty nice, by the way.
Are they?
Yeah, they're pretty nice. A
Um,
little adorable. A little cute.
Speaking of great sleeves that you're onto,
Yeah.
I helped somebody re-sleeve their cube in those whatever the Ultra Pro. What are they called?
Eclipse.
Ultra Pro Eclipse. Oh man, this cube sleeved in them
Oh, yeah.
was amazing.
They feel real nice.
What color have you gotten?
So I have the blue ones.
Okay.
I want to get red ones.
Okay.
But the green ones are really nice too. Like I want to re-sleeve my commander decks with those.
I might switch all my modern decks to the canary yellow ones.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, if those blue ones stay clean, I gotta see because I cannot have like just these grimy sleeves because I
Right.
switch cards between decks, so like they have to all look the same all the time.
Oh yeah.
Which is why the Ultra or the Dragon Shield matte blacks look amazing.
Right.
Because other than the wrinkling of the top, they look pretty much the same all the time.
Oh, I hate that wrinkling on the top.
I know. It's like the
So
bacon color.
was this cube?
It was a battle box.
Okay, so not double sleeved.
Double sleeved.
Oh, did it look nice double sleeved?
It looked really nice.
Because that's the
double
one
sleeved.
thing I haven't played around with.
Yeah, it looked great double sleeved. Actually, don't do this, but he had some proxies in there that were like printed out.
Yeah.
So the cards were of varying stock,
Right.
the card quality. So it still felt good despite that even.
Very nice. Whose battle box was this?
Jonathan Medina.
Oh, okay.
You can check out his articles on a couple different battle box variants. I think it might be on Legit. It might be on Gathering Magic.
One of those.
It can't be Legit because he used to own that company. I don't think they would employ him. That might be like a weird thing. So I'm willing to bet it's on Gathering Magic.
All right, so we've got Billy going to 17 to get this Serum Visions. He really wants to get a burn spell for this Noble Hierarch here. He's already bolted the actual bird. See if he can bolt the proverbial bird as well. Looks at his hand.
We're thinking about these two cards real hard.
Don't see a bolt, so it looks like this Hierarch's going to stick. Didn't get to see what those cards were. So mark down to 16 to get a Temple Garden tapped. It looks like he's going to get a turn with 4 mana. Let's see what he does with it. I would love to see in a Johnny Venge in here. Keeping an island tap could be a huge game depending on what's in Billy's hand.
Oh.
Loxodon Smiter.
Flashing the Baneslayer Angel.
Yeah, so I know that's on the way.
That's such an interesting... I mean, is it the best 5-drop?
Thragtusk is probably better here.
Well, here, right here, right now. But I'm just saying, if you're building a deck that you want to drop some 5-drops into, Baneslayer Angel is...
I mean, I'd still put Thragtusk in over that.
Sure.
This is another card that's good in Mark's deck against this Jeskai burn deck that we haven't really seen.
Yeah.
This is Voice of Resurgence.
It's unlucky to not draw it.
Unlucky to not draw it. There are 4, I'd imagine.
And he has had a mana creature every game.
Yeah.
both of the games so far.
He's had multiple mana creatures every game.
And so that kind of precludes him. Like, I think Voice of Resurgence is one of those cards that's like the best card with that is included in draws that don't have mana creatures.
Sure.
As I stutter over my words.
Nice little Blessed Alliance here.
Interacts favorably with the Exalted mechanic.
Yes, it do.
Because if you attack with just the one guy so he can be exalted, then the Blessed Alliance sacrifice and attacking creature mode is very good.
Yeah, I gotta imagine that's in there for burn matchups, but it's good here because you know he's got some of the exalted cards.
I'd play it if he had no exalted.
Would you?
If it was just an exalted free Naya midrange deck, I'd still play it. I think it's
I
very good.
guess.
Bring it in. It's got to be better than Mana Leak, maybe?
I'd rather have Mana Leak.
Alright.
Crumble to Dust the Sacred Foundry.
That's an interesting
Oh my
move.
goodness.
So the Crumble to Dust has to be in here for the Tron matchups.
Yeah, but why do you bring it in here? This is just strange.
If he were to get a... Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to make up a reason, and
Like, Celestial Colonnade's good,
Right.
but I'm not crazy about it. Like, I'm not trying to board in against Celestial Colonnades.
Right.
So you know Mark's got a Baneslayer in hand.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to have 2 mana next turn. You're fine with that. You've got this Logic Knot that can take out this Baneslayer. The next turn's where things get interesting because you add the Spell Queller to possible plays.
Right. Looks like you're not seeing the...
So this is interesting. You can Logic Knot this, and then if you draw a land, you get
to
Cryptic.
the Baneslayer.
He does draw the land.
This comes into play tap land, so... I think he's going to take one hit from the Knight of the Reliquary here, and then have a turn where he snap Blessed Alliances.
Okay. I don't know if I want to do that in the face of Baneslayer Angel coming down. But, I mean, that might just be the best option here. Oh, has the path. Doesn't even matter.
That's very good.
Agreed.
Because now you're really locking that Baneslayer Angel out of the game. To the point where you could even... I think you could burn the Cryptic command at end of turn. To, like, bounce and draw a card to try and... Because he needs some gas.
Yeah, I mean, so just the Snapcaster's enough gas, honestly.
Right.
And he's got this Spell Queller, so I mean, I might even just end a turn and run a Spell Queller out there.
Okay.
Just the naked Spell Queller. Naked as the day he was born. So
Do you
4
think
mana.
spirits are born, or do you think they're, like, conjured?
I think
how do you
I
think
think you're splitting hairs there.
How do you think spirits reproduce?
I don't think they reproduce by people dying, right?
Oh, interesting. It's a whole
I know you were looking for something lewd there, but
No,
that's all you get.
No,
That's all you get.
I was just thinking about the metaphysics of spirit reproduction, like.
Oh. So we've got the Ghost Quarter now. Kind of cast it underhanded a little bit. Just like snuck it in down on the DL here.
Yeah, you're in the old cheaty face on it.
So you're going to have to exile something for this. That's fine. So the old counter draw. 2 mana. Thalia.
Thalia.
Thalia is not a big deal here.
Nope. More land for Bill. This is exactly what he wants to see.
So this Thalia is a respectable attacker.
Well, this is just as you drew it up in your mind. This game's going long, and I think with the intentionally running the Baneslayer right into the Cryptic command, I think Bill is firmly in the driver's seat here.
Oh, yeah. Billy's going down to 13.
So it's going to cost us 5 mana, but I think what he's going to do here is snap Blessed Alliance.
Yeah, snap Blessed Alliance is fine. Very good play here. Plus it gives you some aggro. And if that's the play here, and it looks like it is, I'll just snap Bolt in response to these Exalt triggers. Three mana. We're cycling a Hollowed Moonlight.
Oh no, you're just casting it. The card says draw a card on it.
So we're cycling a Hollowed Moonlight.
Oh, is that creatures can't come in from the graveyard? Or I know it got played in the
It doesn't do anything here.
in the standard, in its own
Is what it
standard
does.
environment, because it killed the rally deck.
I mean, it didn't kill it.
It would counterspell Collect the Company or Rally.
Right. So now we've got a 5/5
Yeah.
cat coming in.
But
has the bolt. That's a very good bolt.
that was a big
This
draw
is the
step.
one that lets Billy turn the corner.
Yep. We're in the driver's seat now if you're Bill Comminos. And he's gonna, I think you have to play Spellqueller here. Yeah, I think that's the whole key.
Yeah, you don't really have much else that you need to worry about countering. And you've got the Logic Knot that really protects you.
Right.
Plus, you don't need to put in too much damage here before like he's solidly in range of
Oh wow.
these burn spells.
This is an attack step. He's looking to close it out in two turns here is what he's trying to do. So the Colonnade runs into the Ghost Quarter.
He's got to get a basic. Man,
I don't know.
not getting an island here leaves this Logic Knot stranded.
I'm wondering if he just doesn't have one.
He could. That could very well be the case. In which case, firing up this Colonnade is a big misplay here. But let's see if Mark can capitalize.
Alright, so Mark needs a big spell. It's not a big spell. Here comes something. What do we got?
Run.
The last troll,
Well, turns out the counter magic wouldn't have done anything anyway.
right?
So now Billy needs a Snapcaster, or if he's got another
Blessed
Blessed
Alliance
Alliance, that'd
would
be
do
very
a lot
good.
of work here. So Billy has a draw step, or I'm sorry, a block, and then 2 hits from the double Exalted Throne will kill him. So 3 turns in theory, and he needs 4 from the... Oh,
the
wow.
Snapcaster.
Yeah. Not even worth thinking about anymore. We've got Blessed Alliance.
important that he doesn't escalate this, because now he still has the Logic Knot mana up.
Yep.
And I would just Logic Knot the bejesus out of this if you can. So you have to get 7. And he can.
Yep, he's going to get to 7.
Alright, so can't pay, won't pay. And now Mark has to block.
He doesn't have to. You can go to 3 on this.
You can't go to 3 against this deck after all of the bolts you've seen. You've got to block at least 1.
He's going to block
Blocking
them all.
2 here. I mean, that's respectable. Playing around the double burn spell. Turns out Billy doesn't have any burn spells, but...
Puts him to 1. Mark's going to scoop him up. What do you think about... I would say the pivotal play there is when... I mean, drawing the lightning bolt after... Like, that was really the nail in the coffin.
Yeah,
but
having the bolt there was the one that let him turn the corner, but I think...
The pivotal play was when Mark chose to run the Baneslayer Angel into the Cryptic command.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that, but you have to run something out there.
Right. I mean, normally if you have a lot of low casting cost cards in your deck, what you want to do is you want to overload their mana. You want your cards to cost less than their counterspells.
And what did he cast after the Baneslayer? Was that when he cast the Thalia?
I believe so.
So if he cast the Thalia first, then it taxes the Cryptic, and he can't Cryptic the Baneslayer. He can still...
Interesting.
He can still Logic Knot it, but he doesn't get to draw that card.
Right.
Unless he just wants to Logic Knot out the Thalia, or Cryptic the Thalia, which you're perfectly fine with, because then you just slam your Baneslayer.
Right.
Also, Mark probably got a little bit greedy on some of those attacks. So, like, you know he has Blessed Alliance. You're playing Thrun. The only card he's got that can kill you is his Blessed Alliance. So just swing in with one Hierarch and a Thrun. Sure. So there are ways to play around that kind of thing. We'll leave you guys to think about it.